sports listeners. I'm your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
This whole hour of Santa Barbara teen athletes. Woo! And we're talking all athletes.
Good morning, everybody. Oh, what a beautiful, fresh face I have looking at right now. Look at that. Romy Davies is in the house. How you doing from SB?
I'm good.
I tell you, it's been a long trek for you, huh? Last week or so studying APs. It's hard when you're smart and athletic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got it all.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, they're finally over. I'm so glad. I have my last one on Tuesday.
Nice. So it's not like you're going to skirt to the finish line, right? Because, you just want to make sure you're still working out because you don't want to plummet when the first week of practice over the summer in lacrosse. So you just got to still keep up the regiment, right?
Yeah.
What do you have a daily practice that you're doing right now to stay fit?
Not right now because it's tough since club doesn't start until I don't know when. The summer session will start with club. So I usually just go for runs or try and be active when I have time.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. That's good. A little yoga, a little meditation.
Yeah, I love core power. It's so good. My friends and I go.
Oh, that's awesome.
Great place.
That is a great place. That's
I like
good.
them. Yeah.
The hot yoga is so nice in the morning.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So you got it all dialed in. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to give you a little drum roll. We've got a full house today. We got a lot to talk about, but kids come first on Teen Sports Radio, as always. So in the house, Santa Barbara High School recap. Don, once a Don, always a Don. Romy Davies, what say you?
So, well, as the school year is coming to an end, so are all the sports too. Most seasons are over, but there have been a few CIF playoff games. So our boys volleyball team, they made it to CIFs, but they unfortunately lost to Redondo Union School 3-2. So it's really close. And then again for our boys baseball team, also made it to playoffs, but they unfortunately lost to Culver City 7-3. So there's always next year, but good on them for getting that far. But track is still going. They had the Channel League finals, I think it was 2 weeks ago. And Davis Flanagan, he won the long jump and finished second in the 100-meter and triple jump. And Catherine Hedrick ran her lifetime best and won the 100 hurdles.
Wow. Love hurdles.
Yeah.
It was really good for her. But yeah, other than that, I just wanted to mention that there's so many senior athletes who are signing to play in college. To name a few, quite a lot actually, there was Barrett Goodman. He's going to play soccer at Western Washington University. Sophie Johnson, who's going to play water polo at Princeton.
Wow.
Yeah, Xander Meyer, who's going to do rowing at Columbia. And he's so good. He decided, I think he started his sophomore year. He just randomly started and he just was really good at rowing. So good for him. And then Layla Goodman, she's going to do track at NYU. Andreas Schutz, he's going to play volleyball at Long Island University. And then Joaquin Greenberg is going to play soccer at UC Santa Cruz.
Nice.
Wow.
You notice all these kids are going to the East Coast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Santa Cruz. Kids went to Santa Cruz.
Got to get that East Coast
Hail to
vibe.
the green snail.
Yeah.
A yellow slug.
I got you. You're going to be fun to follow next year because that'll be your senior year.
Yeah.
Right, Romy? So then you got a lot to think about. This summer, you'll probably really start dialing in what you want to do, where you want to go.
Yeah. With my college counselor, we're going to start writing common apps and everything soon. And
Nice.
Now that the AP test is over, we're starting our first draft for one of our essays. So
Good.
yeah, it's
Nice.
exciting, but nervous.
We're really proud. Doesn't she remind you so much of Ava? I mean, just like her excitement and her thirst, for school and whatnot. And yeah, we still keep really close because once you're a Teen Sports Radio co-host, it's like you're become an emeritus. You can never leave us. Okay? It's like you're an alum. I want to try to bring back the team of 2010, 2011. They're all old. They all get gray. We're going to be using our walker in 20 years.
No.
So anyway, we're so proud of you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Hopefully we get to see you 1 or 2 more times before school. School's over June
2nd.
Okay, so we got some more shots before get another recap before the end of the year. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, everybody. Yeah, thank you, Romy Davies.
All right, next up, let's see. Oh my goodness, we're full. All right, but Anthony's looking at me. He's not giving me prayer hands, but we have this mano y mano thing in between. He's like my little brother. So not to show favoritism, I can say we're going to do this alphabetically, okay? And N, L, A, B, C, D, F, J, H, L, M, N. Oh, so Dr. Amy actually would go before you, but you know something? She's okay with this. Anthony Rodriguez is in the house. I'm excited to talk to you right now because you had quite a scare this last week. Talk to me.
Yeah. So, it was, as everybody knows, it was really windy. And, on the 10th, or actually on the 11th, I got a phone call saying that I had no longer had a office. And I asked why, and they said that there was a tree into the building. So I hurried up and got over there, and the manager and I both got there at the same time. And sure enough, we had a humongous eucalyptus tree into our building. So it was, it was quite a sight. It was definitely quite a sight. I mean, it lifted even the concrete sidewalk, a whole full slab. And I just actually took a look at our security cameras and I got the footage of it. And yeah, it was windy, and all of a sudden the tree just comes down. And
this was okay. Now you're okay. You're my brother. You know, I have that New York East Coast, humor. Okay. Funny as anything. If anybody Googled you and saw your whole life, okay, to be taken out by a tree. Okay. I don't believe in that script. Okay. That's
right.
That I think that you would have set yourself up for, but thank God nobody was hurt. There's no injuries.
No,
stuff can be fixed.
Yeah, there's no injuries at all.
Admin buildings, right? So none of the food got wiped out. So we're all right. It was quite a sight. Like I said, quite a sight. There was damage to, obviously the building. One area is no longer usable. My office sustained only broken window, but it's something that you don't expect to happen or you don't expect to see. So I mean that comes with disaster preparedness. I mean, so what do we do now? What was our game plan? And luckily that we have the skills and good manager that was able to get stuff moving. I got stuff moving with the county as soon as possible, and we had a really good success. I mean, yeah, we did have to shut the power off, for safety reasons until they got the tree off. And once that happened, I mean, Edison did an amazing job, and we have some really good people around this town. There was a lot of support. The tree company came really quick and got on it right away. County got on it right away about taking a look and doing the investigation. And it went well compared to what it could have been, and we didn't stop. We got food out and continued to get food out. And, I threw all my necessary stuff in the box, and I was moving into the kitchen so you could have my office, right? So there you go.
Yeah. So, it's going to take a while for us to get that taken care of. So a lot of us are going to have to go work from, continue to work from home, which is a good thing. I enjoy it. I really like it. I think I focus more for some reason. But it's, I'm just grateful that nobody was hurt.
Right. Well, we've got a couple of minutes left in this section. Why don't we go through? I just saw you had a very, very successful CERT training. Let's talk about that for the kids.
Yeah, no, it was really successful. I had a great time. We graduated a total of 36 people, community members, agencies that participated in our CERT training, which is Community Emergency Response Team training. And, it's really good skills that you can learn and have for the rest of your life, whether you use it in a disaster or you use it, just at home. We teach you disasters, how to put out a fire, how to mitigate a fire, how to help somebody that might be struggling, mentally, that has been through something traumatic. And you put all those skills together. I mean, you definitely could save a life. And if we have a large disaster, you could play a huge part in making a faster recovery. So with that, I would like people to vote for me. I am nominated for the Latino Business Awards Community Leader of the Year. So yeah, I would really like your support for that. Category 37. You can go on to Latino Business Awards and take a look and see who else is on there. There's a lot of good people. You just have to vote 10 categories. But it would be an honor for me to be able to have this, to be able to tell my mom, even though she may not know, but I think she'll know. She can feel my excitement. So if that happens, that would mean the world to me. So.
Well, Anthony, this Team Sports Radio, how much we love you. And the important thing is just to get out the vote. And there's so many great community leaders, like you had said, in this community to make Santa Barbara what it is. It's just really nice to take that time, take that 2 minutes, because that's all it takes, and look down the list and see if somebody out there to give their love and support to. So that's why this city is as great as it is. Now, we're going to have some more CERT training, so maybe over the summer where more teens can participate.
Well, actually, we're going to have the next class will be the last weekend of October. So
nice.
that we already have it scheduled. So if anybody wants to participate, please reach out to the food bank at foodbanksbc.org. Take a look at the list that we have on our website. We have a bunch of earthquake preparedness webinars that are doing every month. The next one will be on the 18th. And, just participate. Get that information. Get ready. You never know what can happen. For example, look at our tree.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, I don't know what direction we're going to go in the show because it's just this organism that just has no compass. Okay. So, but I do know we need to take a break. So let's recognize our community leaders and our commercials that we have for over 12 years, close to 27,000 comped minutes. Thank you so much, Richard Dugan and Les Carroll, for enabling us to do that now on two stations, AM 1290 and 96.9 FM. Let's take a little break. This is Erica Sald of the Queen Team. We'll be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Sald of the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Hey everybody, this is Anthony Rodriguez, and I'm with the Food Bank of Santa Barbara County and also with the Santa Barbara Response Network. And one of the things that we've been dealing with through the network is responding to overdoses. And many of those overdoses are caused due to fentanyl. And something that we really need to think about is how are we paying attention to our kids, our young adults, our adults? Lives are being lost every single day to fentanyl. And we need to really increase the awareness and be able to see the signs, the symptoms, of somebody that is struggling with an addiction. And we can't forget about them. There's their family members, their friends, their loved ones, and every life makes a difference in this community. And I know sometimes that we feel that we don't feel like we're worth it, but every single person is worth it. And I think it's really important for us to talk about it. One life lost is way too many. And the quantity that we've lost this year just to fentanyl is overwhelming. And, I'm dealing with a lot of the moms that have lost their children to fentanyl. It's heartbreaking, and nobody should have to go through that. And we have to figure out a way to educate people, to educate our kids, our students. They struggle with a lot of things going on in this world, and sometimes they feel it's easy to get a bag of drugs, and you don't know what's in that. It might be laced with fentanyl. You just don't know, and it only takes a very tiny amount to lose a life to it. And a lot of people don't want to talk about it, but we have to.
But Anthony, question: this fentanyl, because of course I've heard of it, but I don't know the genesis of it. But wasn't it more of a horse drug, or isn't it like animals?
Yes, that's correct. That's absolutely.
I mean, if I was a kid, why would I even think that you're going to be going up in a 1,000-pound animal?
Well, that's the thing, is that they don't know that this drug has been added to the drug that maybe they normally use, or use, recreationally. And that's the thing, is that it's being laced. There's so many drugs that are being laced with fentanyl. Nobody knows until you start seeing, thing about dying, people dying from it. And
right.
so
Well, luckily, we have Dr. Amy Salzman in the house. What we're talking about, Anthony brought it up, is the explosion of the fentanyl use and the increase of deaths here in the county. And Dr. Amy Salzman's in the house. Maybe she could talk about a little bit about fentanyl. I've heard of it. I've actually learned a little bit about it through other people, that basically the origin of it was really, in use of animals, like vets gave it to animals. So can you maybe help us a little bit?
Well, since I just hopped on, I'm not sure what you've said. It sounds like Anthony has covered the most pertinent information, which is that it's being laced in other drugs and people don't know. And just a very, very small dose can be lethal. And so we need to be cautioning our kids not to be using substances, and to be super suspicious of what they're using, to be aware, meaning not impaired, so that they can not only protect themselves, but protect their friends. And then I think I'm an upstream girl, as you know, so I think we always need to be moving upstream to look at what conditions these kids are experiencing that has them be seeking this type of relief in the first place, and then providing them the mental, emotional, spiritual support so that they don't seek relief in these ways.
It just seems to me, I don't know if it's an offshoot of being locked down for 2 years, and everything else that they've had, especially in this city. We had the fires, we've had the floods. I mean, we've had, when you think about it, then 2 years shut down. There's a lot of reasons why, if I was a kid emotionally, if you weren't stable, that you could be tempted. But I think the education needs to be upped. I think the communication needs to be upped. I think kids need to network together. That all needs to be upped. And they need to realize that the sources of these drugs that are being laced, I mean, it's just completely the whole drug structure is already contaminated. So best just to, if you want to have some, drink a Bud Light or whatever. I'm not even saying do that. Okay. I don't drink, but I would it's really scary to me. And then the suicide rates and the mental illness rates. And it's all a kind of thing where I guess the signs that you have to just sit down with your kids, have family time, and just notice the signs, be aware. Don Sanders, I know you've got 2 cents. You always got 2 cents.
Before that, we want to remind everybody that May is Mental Health Awareness Month, but it shouldn't just be May. We should be paying attention to it all the time, and educating ourselves all the time to be able to assist people that are struggling.
Great.
And what we did at the food bank for this month is we partnered with Behavior Wellness, and we actually have handouts and little cards that we're putting in our food boxes for the month. In Spanish and English, to be able to provide people with some information, how to talk to somebody, but also self-care, because we really need to talk about this. So just want to make that known.
And I would say, right, cards are fine. Dinner table conversations are fine. And we really need to be able to provide kids basic skills. So again, I think we've talked about this in the past, but every sixth grader, every freshman gets what I would call stress ed. So some basic mindfulness-based stress reduction. And then that program allows us to give kids basic skills, to give kids a safe person to talk to if they're struggling in the moment or if they're struggling at some time in the future. And with skilled trainers, people can detect kids that need more support immediately. And if everyone took it, there would be no stigma attached. And relatively speaking, these courses can be offered very, very cost effectively to groups of kids. And so it really shouldn't be an issue for our community to provide these types of services to kids way before they're contemplating suicide, way before they're reaching for a drug to change their chemistry and their mood. We need to be taking a preventive approach.
Yeah. Dawn.
I agree with Dr. Amy about, she called it upstream. I like the bigger picture, the broader picture. And somebody has to be able to relate to these kids so that you can see that they understand that it's important to do things that come from your heart and that you really believe in, and to exercise common sense. And is what they want to do, is it just a temporary escape or for self-glory, or are they plugged into something bigger? My mother was a nurse back in the 60s when there was rampant drug use, and she gave me a very thorough education, kind of a scary education about what could happen with these kind of drugs. But she also connected me with Stanford students that she met through her work that I could talk to about things, and they could give me the perspective from a few years out from where I was, and I could formulate ideas and things that kept me grounded and kept me in a common sense place.
Agreed. Then we have, as far as teachers, we also have great coaching in this city. And the 28 years that I coached from 86 to 2014, and I only went up to 8th grade. But I often stopped and said, look, going on as you're embarking high school, you are going to be challenged beyond belief. You are going to be pressured. You have to create a safe zone. You have to have a network of friends. My mom always told me, be careful what pond you want to swim in, because the next day, especially if it's in a little pond and there's little piglets in there, okay, the next day you might not look like a little piglet, but you're going to smell like one. So just be very careful, like the people that you hang out. You want to create little tribes, and you want to have same thought-minded people around you at all time. And people are going to come and people are going to go, and you lovingly detach and you lovingly accept. So it's very important. It's really so hard for kids today. They are so stimulated. I'm so thankful that we have many healers and people that have life experiences that we could share, because the show really is all about providing and taking care of for the next generation. Our kids are our future. Okay, with all the kids that we have as co-hosts on the show over the last 12 years, I am at peace, because they're rock stars. Okay, at the end of the day. But, I'm looking at those to be ambassadors, just like we have Heather Bond starting this whole program on Trekking Ambassadors. And I have always looked up to Heather, and she shines a certain kind of light, just like the kids that we have on this show shines as light as well. Hey, let's take another little break. This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. We'll be back with a lot more after these messages. And this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
This is Don Sanders, donsmassageohi.com. It's really important that even as a young person, you learn the subtle workings of the mind. how you orient your mind and the kind of attitude you take, it influences everything around you and your environment. And if you can get used to, no matter what is going on with the storms outside, you can keep this kind of resolve and this kind of calm inside. There's many suggestions here about how to do it when you've tuned into this program. There's all kinds of support you can get, but everybody needs to find something where they can orient themselves towards what's real. My mom used to always encourage, be real, you know, and there's so much distraction and there's so much glitz and glitter that people get lost these days. And I think, as Erica just said a while ago, this is a community where everybody's trying to help you find your way as you're fording the stream, as you're getting across the sea of suffering. They're trying to find you a sturdy canoe, sturdy boat that you can cross that sea of suffering. It's really, really important to find mentors and to find support, people that can help you along your way so that you don't make bad decisions that are going to have consequences that you don't understand yet.
Sweet.
Yeah. And
all right, I see your hand up. All right, wrap yourself around that.
well, actually, what I was thinking about, so this is Dr. Amy from stillquietplace.com and spotaspider.com. And what I was thinking about is, as adults, we need to walk our talk. And we need to practice the skills that we're asking the youth to practice. We need to take some time each day to be aware of our thoughts and our feelings and connect within before we connect without, and really be practicing responding to our own internal weather and then responding to our teens' weather, so that first of all, they see that we're practicing too. They see that we're human. They see that we're sometimes making mistakes, and they see us living every day as our best selves and in a way where we are connected and grounded. And when their world rocks, that we can be stable.
You know, if Dominique was here, because I've learned so much from her out of so many different people, I really try to embrace the things that I don't do. And the one thing she does do, she does journal every single day, and she really starts her day every day from a place of love. I know it sounds kind of quirky, corny, but when she does that, and she always just gives and gives and gives, and her heart is just, there's never anything about her towards anybody else that isn't, you can't not feel it. And I think that when you were saying, Dr. Amy, we have to walk our talk, I think if everybody started from that place and space where there is no judgment, there's no anger, there's only, you're coming from a place of support, and you really do it from your heart, it really just, right in front of you, people they just melt, all that stuff around them just melts away. And then it's like you've so perfectly put, it becomes a still, quiet place.
Right. And I want to make some distinctions, because this thing of like no judgment and no anger, I'm looking at that, and I'm looking actually at how it was used to manipulate me in certain ways. Mm-hmm. And so, that doesn't mean we're not discerning. That doesn't mean we don't speak our truth. It doesn't mean that we aren't willing to listen to the truth of others. But I think there are these places where we're kind of doing spiritual bypassing, and the kind of, I know this is totally not what you were saying, Erica, but the kind of the mistaken interpretation that someone can have is like, just be chill and don't let it ruffle your feathers and it's all okay. And there are certainly things in the world that aren't okay that we need to be speaking up about.
Yeah, I say that because everybody speaks from their personal. Because if you grow up in a household and there's issues already going on, drugs, alcohol, and you're constantly raised where you're living on ice and you're constantly shamed, and no matter what you do, it's never right, on and on and on, to get through all of that and to like strip all that off of you and not reflect that, because a lot of times what happens is when you grow up and become an adult, a lot of times you mirror your childhood, right? I mean, any good $200 now therapist will tell you that, okay? I know personally. It takes years, okay? And I know you know where I'm coming from with that. Sometimes it's really a breath of fresh air that you're giving a person, because you're not going to be like those others where you're judging. That's all I'm saying.
Right. And I think it can be love, like
coming from perfection.
Right. But I think we can be grounded in love. And I think loving can be not just that soft, tender, compassionate thing, but it can also be like fierce mama bear love. And I think we sometimes, in certain realms, the soft, tender, loving piece gets emphasized more than the standing for justice piece.
Yeah, I understand that. Oh, totally. Anthony, you have a vast amount of experience in this community, being right there, suicide prevention. You've gone 24/7 for so many years. You have hundreds of godchildren. You go to somebody's house at 2:00 in the morning just to take away, an instrument that could hurt them. What say you?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's different. Every single person is different. So we have to, with the experience that you normally do have, you have to take it case by case. I see both sides, what Dr. Amy said, but also too, I mean, it's a balance that you have to have. And that's what changed me, was somebody finally didn't judge me for what I looked like. I mean, everybody judged me no matter who it was. And the first person that didn't judge me was Bianca. The next person was her mom. They stood up for me and they said that they don't know me to stop talking about me. And that's what made a difference in my life. I mean, that's all it took for me, and all the stuff that I did in my past, I just wanted to be a better person. You know what I mean? And it's sometimes that's all we need. I mean, I just went to a kid's house last week. The grandmother got my phone number from someone, and I went over there. The cops were there. Everybody was there. And I just stood back and just listened and watched. And I just told him, give me, if you don't mind, just give me a second. And he's like, I don't even know you, I'm like, and you're absolutely right. I'm all, but just, that's even better, because I'm not going to judge you. So if you give me a moment, let's just talk. And, we went inside. He had a hard time, but he's calling me every single day to tell me that he's going to school. And that was just literally last week. Mm-hmm. And,
such a blessing, Anthony.
It's.
Well, Anthony's worked with one of my friends' sons. They took him out fishing, and he came back a different person. So I don't know, freaking St. Anthony. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You've got it. That's all I got to say. Don, we're going to get to you, but I've got to take a break because I was given a smushy sign for about 30 seconds right now. All right, so let's enjoy some new commercials. Back with more after these messages.
Well, now together we will stand, every boy, girl, woman, and a man. Together we'll stand, divided we'll fall. Come on now, people, let's get on the ball and work together. Come on, let's work together. Now, people, because together we will stand, every boy, every girl, and a man.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
Every single Tuesday.
9 a.m. All right. If you have just joined us, you're late. Okay? I know Dr. Amy probably have never heard that. It's all right, though. We're okay. Don Sanders. I cut you off last segment. I'm so sorry. Don Sanders in the house. What say you?
No worries. In our Buddhist community here in Ojai, and the way it functions all around the world is one-to-one encouragement. So I find that the women band together to talk about real problems and also have the heart to listen to each other deeply, more readily than the men do. And the men that I keep in touch with and encourage in my local Sangha, we get together for coffee, and a lot of times it's just listening and giving them a chance to open up, and because they've been islanding, they've been busy, and they kept busy with work, this and that and the other thing, but they haven't taken the time to share their hearts with anybody or to talk about anything that's bothering them. And so I definitely find that the women are much more readily adapted to this. So we always make time to be able to meet for coffee and give these guys a chance to talk. And there's one of them, he tends to get triggered in his life and becomes like a different person, and anger is fueled by resentment, et cetera, and he can get himself off track. And when we meet with him, one guy who goes with me usually excuses himself after an hour, and I just let the guy keep going because he seems like he's making up for lost time when he finally opens up and wants to talk. So if you can be in service to somebody and you can be that person who can lend somebody an ear, and they always say we got 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should listen more than we talk. And
I like that. I want to steal that.
Yeah,
I love that.
And so just like Amy, Dr. Amy said, we need to speak up when somebody sounds like they've got a misguided idea they're running with, and we should say that doesn't sound like common sense to me. Maybe you could approach it this way, or maybe you could, just whatever. Give them that feedback. So important, those little things, like you talk about it all the time, Erica. Those little things that happen behind the scenes in the community is the glue that holds everything together while all kinds of things are rocking and rolling and going crazy in the world. Floods, fires, everything else.
Yeah, connecting. It's true, because I put the ego away so many years ago, especially raising 2 boys by myself, and they were really little. And though my ex-husband lived in San Diego, that wasn't, it was a job related issue. So, but I just had to create male mentors, and because I knew I wasn't the right messenger, even though if I said the same thing and then they come back, somebody else said, Alex Ramirez said, because he was one of their trainers, or Dustin Aliano said. I mean, I put that away. I'm like, that's all good. Your ears, you used both of yours when they were saying it. You weren't losing any of your ears when I was saying it, okay? But definitely. And then that's the thing. And I know I've done that, I'm sure, with my parents. We've always done that. So just to recognize that you're going to need to bring in people, and creating community is the best way. Everyone has little villages. This is what Santa Barbara has always been to me, a little village. It's always had that small town feel. And when things need to get done, ultimately it always gets done. And that's why I'm so happy that Dr. Amy Salzman has joined our community here in Santa Barbara and making such an impact. And I love her ideas. And it's only a matter of time before we get these things folded into our education system, because it's needed. I mean, we've had a lot of things to overcome between the disasters that's happened in this city, and now the plague, and Anthony said, earthquake preparedness. We need all these things. We need to create our little villages, our little tribes. We need to be prepared, and to do that, you can't do that by yourself. I don't know, Anthony.
I mean, that's exactly right. I mean, you have to try to be prepared as much as you can. Like everybody says, the things are going to happen, disasters are going to happen, so why prepare? Well, the best thing to do is prepare. Why? Because otherwise you're not going to be able to focus. I mean, your mental state is not going to be right to be able to overcome the difficult times, the difficult things that happen in life. And that's the whole thing about preparedness. The more that you educate yourself, the more that you have things ready, the more that you learn things. It makes a big difference when you end up in a stressful situation. Mm-hmm. And when you end up in that stressful situation, people go crazy if you don't prepare.
I gotta say, my bug out bag, because we did this a year ago, so I have everything for earthquake. I just hope that the garage don't crash first, because that's where it's at. Okay, that was a big waste, but everything is in that earthquake. I've had to pull little things. I've replaced it. I've had to pull stuff out of my earthquake thing. We've had a plumbing issue. We had no toilets in the house that worked. Okay, so I did the bucket, the whole thing, just like you taught us, right? So we've had to use that. Then the small denominations of money. It's not a boatload of money, but it's just enough money, because why would I want to pay $10 for a gallon of ice cream? And that really came in. I had a bug in there about a week ago. Kids come a knocking for their little jogathons, and who has cash? Right. And they want cash. So they're like, okay, so hold please. So you hear bang, boom, bang in the garage, and I've got like dollars, like $100 in singles. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Because, don't make the mistakes, guys, okay, of paying per lap, because you're going to be lucky to get somebody that does like the 28 laps, and then you do $5. I've got caught, okay? So now I just do a flat amount of donation, okay? Because I don't know who broke the world record in running, okay? But it'll sure be the child that knocked on my door. But anyway, this has been a great, great, great conversation. Let's take another little break. This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. We'll be back with more after these messages.
Brazil. Back in the USSR. Way down in LA. Every day dancing in the street. Crossing China too. Me and you dancing in the street.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
Every single Tuesday.
9 a.m.
Hello, this is Dr. Amy Saltzman and Teen Sports Radio. My number is 650-575-5780. And I just wanted to clarify something that Anthony demonstrated and make sure there's no confusion about something I said. So, yes, absolutely. Our teens, our folks who are struggling for any reason need a non-judgmental, compassionate person and support and listening, which is exactly what Anthony provided. And so when I said that we make sure we use our judgment and discernment, what I meant was in really looking at things in our relationships that aren't okay or in our communities that aren't okay. But every person in a moment of difficulty definitely deserves non-judgment and compassion. So I'm going to let people say their gratitudes and then I'll come back with mine.
It's nice. All right. So who wants to go? Don Sanders, give me some love, Don.
Yes, there's a client of mine here in Ojai who facilitated me being able to work during the time of COVID by working out on this balcony of this detached studio she has. And it's overlooking this magical valley it had a creek that's running, things are drying up now, and it has wonderful bird life, and it's a thick forest, some conifer, oak forest. And I was over there. I owed her a comp session yesterday, and I was over there working on her, and we both just stopped talking, and a hummingbird had like flashed onto the balcony and was just like poised in midair, like a foot from our faces, and we were just awed. It was a magic moment. She says, "Yeah, this canyon has a lot of magic." It was so gratitude for that experience yesterday. It was awesome.
Nice, Anthony. We got a couple of minutes left. You could get one.
Well, gratitude. It's got to be a couple. Gratitude. I want to thank SB Tree for coming out so quick. I want to thank the county for coming by and doing their investigation so fast. And I also want to thank the fire department, Station 13. Thank you guys so much for being there for us when we had our tree incident. Much love and respect to you guys. Thank you.
Nice. Dr. Amy.
Well, I know I'm forgetting someone, but in the meantime, I'll actually give a shout out to Raya Carpenter from Bishop Diego, who has referred me some awesome student athletes who are looking for a little support in dealing with injuries and achieving peak performance and finding flow. So thank you, Raya, for sending folks my way. And I will remember my other one. It'll just be next week.
All right. Well, Squiggly's, this is who I'm going to give a shout to. Billy at Squiggly's. It's a mobile car wash and auto detailer. And it was referred to me by Judy Parent, a long lifetime friend. She always stood in for me and was a second mom to my kids when mommy needed a break. His phone number, 805-310-3196. That's 805-310-3196. Tell him the Teen Sports Radio just loves him. Ask for Billy. Dr. D, we got a second. Do you have anything?
I do, actually. I am going to send a shout out to Rob Wooliver of Wooliver Tire and Auto. I am glad he is my mechanic and not the folks at another auto parts store I will not mention. I had to have my battery changed out, and I was told, don't do it yourself because it'll screw up your computer. And I know enough about computers. You want to turn it off, you unplug it, you plug it back in, you turn it on, and it reboots. So what's the big deal? And Rob basically took care of it in 15 minutes, and I just thank him for being the kind of mechanic he is.
Nice. I know him very well. Rob, lots of love to you. Lots of love to your family. You've been here forever.
Yep.
Hey, Santa Barbara, let's keep smiles putting on our faces. Hey, kids, any teen athletes that need some internship, we're looking. Summer's coming here. Until next week, God bless.
You're the best around. You're the best around. Nothing's going on.